All right, guys, this week we are here at the Toboggan here in Michigan. We're going to play the Discraft Great Lakes Open. We're getting ready for the DGPT Elite Series Plus. Let's go. All right, hole one's a downhill, left to right, 516-foot par 3. Pretty severe downhill, so I'd say it probably only plays about 430, 440, something like that. But yeah, you kind of want to just hug this right side limb and not throw it super high. I think that's the biggest mistake I see people here is throw it so high that it's going to fade OB. You kind of want to throw it down because you're going downhill. Something just like that. That should be probably circle's edge, something like that. But yeah, you just want to make sure to throw it downhill because you're going downhill instead of up. And so as you see, this is kind of, we walk down to the flat spot, but you're throwing so far downhill. And like I was saying from the tee pad, you don't want to throw it too high because then it gives it that chance to go out of bounds to the right-hand side over here. And if you're throwing down, you're going to pretty much guarantee yourself a 30, 40 foot putt from the left-hand side, which is the very safe side of the green, and that's kind of where you can be aggressive on the putt. So you want to make sure to have that birdie putt instead of hyzer and OB and having no chance for birdie. So that's the big difference on this hole, that you want to make sure you give yourself a chance. The ride was a little bit too low, but yeah, it's a good line. Just throw it maybe a couple feet higher and it gets all the way there to the basket. But at least I'm safe, and that's what I like. I always like starting off hole one, not going OB and over to the right hand side now that they've added OB over here, which is kind of a new thing. Hey, we still get the birdie. Hey, the first one counts, that's all. All right, we got hole two, 660-foot par 4. That's very deceiving. It probably plays, I would say, an extra 100 to 200 feet further than that because of how far uphill it is. But yeah, you kind of want to take a left to right. I'm going to go with the beat up general. So it's kind of my flippy distance driver, start on the left-hand side and kind of try to drag it to the right. So you want to take, for me, I want to take the flippier of my distance drivers so that way it can fight the uphill and keep on holding that turn. So just start on the left-hand side of the fairway and try to drift it back right. That's good, just a little bit too low. So yeah, I like being on that right-hand side because it kind of gives me a good run-up. I just don't want to be left. If you hyzer out left, it's your run-up on the second shot is just rough. It's on the side slope and you don't have much to work with. So really trying to play kind of right center fairway here. There we go. That one's money. Right, exactly what I want. So got the glide, got the skip, and I'm just kind of on that right center. Got a nice semi-flat run up for this fairway since it's kind of really upsloped on the second shot. As a kind of veteran player, I've learned over the years how to play with slopes and hills and little intricacies that you need, and hopefully I can share that with you guys today on how to play on hills, because it's an art form in itself. Because a lot of times when you're throwing up shots with the upslope like this, your arm gets way ahead of your hips because your hips are real slow since you're actually running up on this hill, whereas your arm just can swing freely. Your hips are slowed down by the upslope. So just those little things to learn. All right, so we got my drive here. Pretty solid drive, definitely. I'd take it every time. But yeah, I like being over here. I mean, even if I land in the bushes, I don't want to be in the bushes, but at least I can still throw a shot. As opposed to the left-hand side, you're pretty much cooked if you go left of the fairway. So I got a little explorer shot here. And then like I was just saying earlier, anytime you're running uphill like this, you're just gonna naturally wanna go up in the air. So I gotta fight it by keeping my shoulders down and get a nice, hopefully level shot and not go too far nose up. Because that's the biggest problem on this hole. If you go too far nose up, it just doesn't go anywhere. And you can also counter it by throwing kind of nose down Annie, which is what I like to do here. Little two nose down. Try it one more here. And that basket that you see is not actually the basket I'm going to. There's a basket another about 30, 40 feet past that basket. There we go. That's better. So that should be nose up. And that should be pretty much parked for the basket that I'm going to. That basket's a short pin that we might play a couple times, but yeah, the other long basket's about 30 feet past that. All right, through the second shot Explorer. And as you saw, it's kind of a nose up shot. I tried the first one to kind of keep my shoulders down and just threw it too low into the ground. So a shot like that, you kind of just got to embrace the fact you're going to throw nose up and just control the angle and throw a little bit flippier of a disc. So yeah, kind of dialed in on the second shot here and got a couple onto the green. But yeah, like my old tour series, Explorer, nice and flat top. Can really flex it up the hill and give myself a good look for birdie. All right, we got hole 3. This is a signature hole here at the toboggan. Downhill, par 4, we got OB left and we got death to the right. You're gonna lose your disc forever, so don't go over there. And we got 815 feet downhill. And we got severe downslope and they got a headwind. So this is another hole you wanna throw down. If you throw up, your disc just has so much time to turn left or turn right. So that's the key to this hole, throw down. So that one I actually threw a little bit too high. So we'll see if it has time to drop and land safe or not. So it does not. So that one I threw a little bit high. I'm gonna try one more. I'm gonna try to throw this one a little bit down this time. There we go, that's better. So I threw a little more down and got a little more turn. Now it should come back into the fairway. Yeah, that's a lot better of a shot. So that one just threw a little lower, got a little bit nose down. The first one got a little bit nose up and then just got that crazy hyzer out to the left. So yeah, it's tough to gauge with this hole. You got a headwind, you got to trust your disc on hyzer to kind of hyzer flip because you really can't throw an overstable disc and just, you can flex it, but I just still like to throw that nice fairway driver shot. But yeah, anytime it's windy like this and you got severe hills like we got out here, just makes it so hard to make wind reads and do it with any sort of consistency. So yeah, the wind out here makes this course really tough because your nose angles are so severe going up and down these hills that you're just flying a kite at that point. We got the third banner on the right hand side and the second banner kind of between, the basket's kind of between there, so I use that as a reference point, and I'm trying to throw a shot about 250 right around there. Kind of start it just left of this Discraft sign and throw it up to the bucket. So something just like that. That's a little bit, that looks actually really good. So just threw the Pioneer on the second shot. So Explorer, Pioneer, and should have a putt inside the circle. And yeah, this one I like to make a reference point. Anytime you have, course assets that you can use to your advantage, especially on a blind shot like this, definitely use them. So I know I have the visual. I don't need to go jumping, running up to the basket. I know exactly where the basket is, and I know exactly how far I want to throw it. And so, obviously, two of the most important things when you want to have a distance control shot that's blind. All right, here's the upshot. Threw it pretty much right where I wanted to. And all right, hole 4, we got 580 foot par 4. Kind of starts off with dogleg left and then comes back right up a hill. And I'm throwing a backhand hyzer over top of these. You can kind of see the Christmas tree type things. So the second one on the right hand side, I'm just trying to go over top and then crash kind of into the trees and hyzer left. There's like a guardian tree that you pretty much just want to hit and drop, and that puts you in a perfect spot to throw an up shot. So yeah, just kind of a power hyzer to the right hand side and fade back through that little top shelf field goal type thing, and that'll get you in the landing zone. So yeah, I'm gonna just go with a Albert Ballista Pro. All right, so we got a little bit of headwind, and normally I go a little bit out wide, but since it's a headwind, I'm gonna start my line a little bit more left, since the headwind's gonna kind of keep it straight. And I don't really mind fading back left, so I'm gonna favor the left-hand side. That's pretty much exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, that was money. Hit the left-hand side, probably dropped right in the fairway. Kind of the play. It's kind of just a crash shot that you want to play, and it drops into the middle of the fairway. All right, so I threw the high shot, and kind of a lot of times crashing over here into these trees. I threw a little more glidey, a little more aggressive, and got through to the absolute perfect spot. So now let's see if we can't give it a run. Oh shoot, that was a shanker. A little too aggressive. I'm gonna throw one. Not just slide it up there for a birdie, so you guys can see how to birdie this hole. There we go. That was better. So yeah, first one I tried to make it, so I got punished, but I gotta try to throw it in for you guys, But yeah, that kind of shows you the fairway from that spot, and then it's a nice distance control shot, either forehand or backhand, just depending on where I land in the fairway. If I land left-hand side, I'm gonna kind of have to throw a kind of a turnover forehand. If I throw to the right, I can throw that backhand kind of flippy putter shot. And in a tournament, I'm not gonna be stupid aggressive with with the downslope right behind it. So I'll probably just kind of slide it up to 20, 30 feet short and try to hit a putt. That's kind of the game plan on this hole. All right, we got hole 5, 480 foot par 3, downhill tunnel shot. And you kind of have the OB long, and you kind of, I like to use that wood log to the right hand side. That kind of stops your disc if you throw it a little bit too straight, a little bit too right. Stops it from going any further. So that's kind of at the circle's edge. It's kind of the shot I'm trying to throw. A little early, I'm throwing one more. Throw a compass. I'm really just trying to hit that log down there on the right side. I keep hyzering them out. I gotta throw one good one. There we go. Oh, that thing turned. All right. Well, no birdies today. So always good to practice a shot in case you don't throw it perfect, which on that hole I didn't. It's a pretty tough little tunnel shot. It's not the easiest shot ever, but hey, you never know when you're gonna have to scramble for par, which is what I'm gonna do right here. So throw a little dagger, slide it up. Yeah, the biggest thing about this hole is you don't wanna go long because there's some OB. You just wanna make sure to, whether it's your drive or your upshot, you wanna be a little bit short and not bring into play that long OB. What I normally try to do when I'm throwing the drives is try to throw it kind of to the right-hand side. I didn't do it today because I didn't throw any good ones, but normally try to throw it somewhere near that log, and that kind of stops it and kind of makes it kind of filter to about 25, 30 feet, and it doesn't bring in the long OB. So yeah, that's kind of my sweet spot, is a little bit right side, and a pretty manageable shot from there, and a good looking putt. So today we'll get a par, and we'll learn how to get the birdie throughout the week. At hole 6, we got a 615 foot par 4 dog leg to the right, and then kind of swoops back left and comes, so it's kind of like a double dog leg. But you see this first gap, you have this leaning tree. You kind of want to just throw like a mid-range or a putter. I'm going to go with a nice understable harp. Throw it kind of start at that leaning tree and just kind of turn it. So really just got to almost feel like you're just throwing an Annie that kind of lands flat instead of hyzer out. You're just holding Annie the whole way. And it's going uphill, so you got to throw a little bit flippier. So I'm going with one of my flippiest harps in the bag because it's going that far uphill. It's going to want to hyzer out. So you got to counter it by throwing an even more understable disc than normal. So let's see what we got here. So a little bit wide. I just went a little left of that leaning tree. So now I'm going to try to make the adjustment and throw it a little bit further right. There we go. That's cash right there. So that's pretty much exactly what I wanted to do. Do that one a little bit more inside. Instead of out and then turn, I just kind of threw it straight turn, because a lot of times when people throw Annies, and even me sometimes, as you saw the first one, I threw it out and then let it turn instead of just forcing it over right out of the hand. So that's the adjustment I made. All right, got my drive here, threw the harp right in the middle. I could throw a mid-range and get another 30, 40 feet, but really no need. You're still throwing the same shot, trying to get a 3, and I feel real comfortable hitting this gap with the harp. So I'm gonna go with the Pioneer on the second shot, and I'm really just trying to throw it dead straight. I'm not really even trying to hyzer, because as soon as you start messing around with the hyzer, you skip and there's a big downslope to the right. So anything left 20, 25 feet left, I'm almost trying to hit that big fat tree straight ahead. That's kind of my aiming point, that if I hit that, I like my shot. Just like that. So that's almost a little bit, that's parked, but I don't really want to be that far to the right. I want to just go dead straight. So we'll try to go just dead straight this time. There we go. Way better that time. So should just go straight. Yeah. So I went left of the basket, pretty much hit the exact aiming point. I threw it right at that big tree and faded off of it. And that should leave me about 20 feet. So my first one is parked, but I really don't like flirting with skipping over here and rolling down the hill, because then you completely have no putt. So I like that second one that I played a little bit wider, a little bit flippier, just to take this skip and roll down this hill out of play. So this big tree that I was talking about, that's the reference point. If I hit that, I'm real close, and I didn't mess around with the slope to the right hand side. So that's kind of my aiming point on this hole, that big tree. Anything around there, I'm getting a good putt for birdie. All right, hole 7, 667 feet. We got a pretty cool par 4. You got like an upslope here, and I like to almost hit that upslope and use it to my advantage. And then it comes kind of up to a tabletop and then back up left. but you do have OB right and left, so I really like to use that upslope to kind of stop it from going right or left. So keep it nice and low. Anytime there's OB on both sides, I like to keep it kind of low if I can, because it has time to hit the ground before it can kind of go haywire and go too far left or right out of bounds. So I'm going to try to throw like a nice line drive into that hill and try to skip up into that flat part. Just like that. That's pretty much exactly what I want to do. Might be a little hyzery, so that should be safe, but it pushed the OB line left. As you can see, I threw a really good shot. It just that crosswind caught it a little bit and wanted to skip it. So I'm gonna throw that same shot. Just try to hold a little bit straighter. There we go. That's cash. So that turned a little bit more, and it's gonna be in that. Yep, that's money. So you can see it kind of hit a little bit straighter with that second one. It's a little bit flippier of those two generals. So it got a little hyzer flip to flat, whereas that second one was a little bit more stable, and that crosswind hit it and skipped it. So we'll go up there and see if that first one's in bounds or not. So we're walking up this upslope that I talked about from the tee pad, and yeah, so I'm really just trying to hit the kind of glance the top of this just to take the speed off. So that way I'm not really able to go OB left or right. So if I just kind of hit here and then trickle up into this tabletop, I get a nice flat spot and I don't have to worry about going OB left or right. So using the contour of the fairway to your advantage is very important, especially on a hole like this. So the first one was safe over here. It did push the line a little bit more because I had a little bit more hyzer on it, but still should be a pretty routine birdie from there. We'll try a forehand harp shot. Oh, wow. Didn't quite turn it over enough. Try one more. Try to turn this one over a little bit more. There we go, that's way better. That's better. So I got the turn on that one, and got about a 20-footer for par or for birdie. Now we'll try, this one's ideal. Can't really throw it much better than this. So we'll try to throw in with good old purple dagger. It's funny, this thing I was throwing it in the field, and I threw it in, that's at Worlds. I was doing some field work, threw it on the street, and then a car freaking ran it over as my go-to upshot putter. So now it's like super flippy. I gotta throw it like super hyzer flip. So look how flippy that thing is, it's crazy. But it's good for those shots, you know, hyzer flip, or if you need to go around a corner and just keep turning. But yeah, now it's my flippy putter instead of my straight one like it used to be before the car ran it over. Forehand harp, the good one, is right here. You know, once again, you see this contour, this green kind of goes up slope to the basket and then back down. So once again, you really just want to play short because that hits the hill and just stops. If you start flying past the basket and try to run it, you're going to be skipping out of bounds because it slopes down to the OB and there's nothing to stop it. So yeah, this is kind of like the very high percentage chance that I'll have a 20-30 foot uphill putt, because that's the shot that I'm trying to play. Just right into the hill, stop the speed, give yourself that high percentage birdie putt. All right, hole 8, we got 500 foot par 4 through this kind of field goal almost. Throw it through the field goal, hyzer out left, and there is OB on both sides once again. So that's kind of the name of the game out here, lots of out of bounds. And then you kind of wrap around back to the right. So you really just want to throw it kind of tight to this tree and then hyzer out. You really just want to hit the gap and hyzer. That's really all that the goal is. Because if not, you're going to get a bogey if you don't hit the gap. Pretty much auto bogey. That's exactly what I'm looking for. That's pretty much a perfect spot. So hug the tree, hyzered out. I'm gonna throw one more just to get this shot dialed, because it's a super important shot, because it's a two-stroke swing type of hole. If I throw a good shot and get a birdie, someone else may not do that. And if you hit, the thing is, if you hit the tree, hit anything, go right or left, you're out of bounds. Or if you throw it just too straight, you're out of bounds. So, and it's an automatic bogey. You're really not saving from there. So that's golden too. Yeah, so as you can see, super important tee shot. You don't want to over complicate it and try to get cute and go way around the corner. Just hit the gap, hyzer out. Wherever you land, and try to get up and down for a birdie. All right, got my drive here. This grass is really thick, so it's not skipping. Basically, playing lawn darts, wherever you hit is where you're gonna stick. Now we got a pretty tricky shot because everything's sloping right to left. You're going uphill, so everything's gonna wanna make your disc turn to the left. and even the crosswind's pushing that way. So you gotta throw kind of like an understable mid-range is what I'm gonna throw. Throw it kind of tight to this corner tree right here, and just really keep that nice severe Annie angle on it the whole time, just to try to follow this fairway. See, that looks like it's way too wide, so that's probably gonna be out of bounds. Yeah, so as you saw, it kind of just didn't quite turn it enough. I'm gonna throw one more here. Try to turn it a little bit more. And I cut it pretty tight to this tree and still was too far wide left. So you really gotta throw a jackknife Annie. It's crazy. So that's just gonna float and be like, you know, 40, 50 feet short. But I mean, it's not the worst shot. You really wanna be a little bit left on the shot so that way you can have a good angle in. See where my second one landed. I don't see it yet. Oh, it's right here. So this is way better. So that first one is way better because it's a little bit farther up and farther left. So it gives you the opportunity to kind of maybe go forehand if you want to. And whereas back there, you kind of can't because you just don't really have the angle to do it. So I'm gonna throw one from right here. And once again, you still have to cut it real tight. There, that's way better. So yeah, that was pretty much money. I hit the tree, but I mean, the line and everything was exactly what I wanted. So yeah, that's kind of the shot you want to throw. Just, you know, I mean, there's some limbs that overhang, but I mean, you gotta kind of get lucky through them if you want to park the hole. I guess I maybe went a little bit too far more than anything, but yeah, it's a tough upshot because everything wants to push this way and you're wanting to throw against the hill, against the uphill, against the wind. So there's a lot of variables working against you. So you kind of got to be aware of that and plan your shot for all those variables. So yeah, anytime you got wind on this hole, as you can see, it's pushing right to left and I'm trying to go into the wind. And so it just makes it really hard to actually get far enough back into the right of this pin. That's kind of how it's always been on this hole. It's a tough reach whenever you have any sort of headwind like we got right here. So yeah, once again, that first one went a little bit too straight because I was getting a little bit too aggressive. This forehand was great, kind of ran into these limbs and then dropped. Yeah, it's just a hard hole to birdie whenever it's this windy. All right, hole 9, we got 470 foot par 3 downhill. And once again, you can see we got an upslope in front of the basket and a downslope behind it. So that's kind of what I'm paying attention to. If you get too much glide, too much hyzer, you're gonna go way past the upslope that you wanna hit. So I'm looking to hit 30, 40 feet short, hit and skip to about 20 short. I don't wanna mess around with going too far long because that's gonna do is just go long and glide and there's nothing to stop it, just a downslope. So you're just gonna go 70 feet long and have pretty much not a good chance for birdie. So just try to go a little bit short and skip it up there. So that's pretty much exactly what I want. Should hit short and skip up to it. Yeah, so that's pretty much exactly what I want. As you saw, I hit the upslope, kind of skipped to 20 feet. I don't want to throw it any higher because it's going to skip up or it could get up and glide and let the wind take it. So throw one more and try to throw this, recreate that same shot. All right, we recreated it, so that's good. It's not luck. That's money. So that's about 35, 40 short, totally fine with that. Hit the slope, didn't have any chance to go long and gliding way past the basket. Got the high percentage birdie putt, that's what we like. So as you can see, I keep talking about these slopes and you can see the upslope that I hit here. Long grass, upslope, boom, and it hits and stops. Versus if I go another 20 feet long, I'm gonna go 70 to 80 feet long. So yeah, just paying attention to the slopes of the greens, super important. And giving yourself that best chance to have that high percentage birdie putt. All right guys, that's the front 9. Let's head over to the back.